Students ask me all the time, how do I stop thinking? How do I stop my mind? But in fact, the mind has to think. It's like the heart has to pump blood. But the thing is, the mind can be incessant and it can be quite addictive thinking, negative thinking. So what we want to do is calm the mind down and then direct it in one focus so you can concentrate on what you're doing in that present moment. You end up being far more productive, the mind is calmer, and because we have what we call the mind-body connection, whatever happens in your mind leaves a trace in the body. So that's why a lot of the time you get neck pain and shoulder pain and back pain and stressful symptoms is because the mind is overthinking, overreactive, or it's negative. I'm going to give you two practices, but essentially they're the same function. It's just that one will be on the ground and one will be standing up. But what they both do is they include a long exhalation. So when we develop a long exhalation, two things happen. Muscles start to relax and the mind becomes calmer and quieter. So I'm going to start here on my heels, and then the very first position we're going to do is just have the hands down and in front. Now, if your tail doesn't get far down, don't worry, you're just going to go to whatever level that suits your back. So don't push the body to go down if that's not comfortable. So we start always with the breath, inhaling, coming forward. And then you're going to count in your mind your exhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way until your exhalation finishes. And then again, breathe in. Your exhale might only be 4 counts, so it will look like this. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you continue that movement, but make sure you're doing it with the breath. 1, 2, 3. So you can do that at least 6 to 7 times, and then you finish with a little rest, either this way or you can do child's pose. But see how my head's quite low? So don't stay like that. If it's too low, just bring one fist on top of the other to make it comfortable. When we use the breath when we're moving, and especially when we count the breath, it takes the spotlight off any problems or issues or negative thoughts or incessant thoughts that you're having, and it asks the mind to follow, so then it's in the present moment and it starts to calm down. So that's why we count the exhalation in particular. So you're going to start this time on your heels, or you can start up on your knees in case you can't sit on the heels. So from here you're going to come up and breathe in first. We always start with the breath, so then the mind follows. Inhale. Exhale, sit back first a little, right arm comes forward, left hand behind the back, and just exhale, exhale, all the way till your exhale finishes. If your neck is sore, just take it to where it's comfortable for you. Breathing in, exhale, still counting your exhalation, breathe in. Exhale, return, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do that one more time. Breathe in. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. And then you're going to pause. So you can do that 3 or 4 times. And remember, if this is uncomfortable, you can take the knees apart and you can do the whole sequence, either arms out to the side or forward, and you're still doing the same thing, but you're not stressing the knees or the ankles if that's a problem for you. So the next posture we're going to do is we're going to lay on our side, but you've got to make sure you have, just a blanket would do, folded so your neck is supported, okay? So you're going to lay down onto your side, left leg is straight to start, and then the right knee comes over. And remember, I'm going to give you the alternatives for this practice, standing if you don't like lying down. So from here, you're going to lie down and you're bringing your left shoulder under your blanket and then stretching the left arm out. Left leg is straight, just make sure it's not off to one side. It's right under your hip, and then this knee comes over. And this hand, your right hand, joins the other. Now, if you're sort of a little bit like that, you can put a bolster or a pillow underneath. So from here, we're resting the head down, make sure your shoulders are comfortable. Then you breathe in, you make sure the elbow isn't locked. We have a little bit of a kink, a little bit of a bend. And I want you to follow that top arm with your eyes. So you breathe in first, and then your inhale opens. So try not to lift the leg, open. Now you might only get to here, because of your back, because of your shoulder. If not, you can go a bit further. And you're following the arm with the eyes. So your head is moving and stretching your neck. Then from here you come back. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way till you join the hands. So I'm going to do that 3 more times, breathing in. Remember to keep the elbow soft. Exhale. And you'll find with each time that you do this, you're able to just open the body a little bit more, which means your exhale will extend longer. Counting your exhale, and then just rest there for a couple of breaths, normal breaths. And then you turn around and you make sure that you repeat it to the other side. So our final posture, we're going to be laying onto our back and we're doing a posture called Uttanasana. And it's lovely to be able to massage your back, but once again we're extending the exhale so the mind starts to quieten. But we also, in this posture, are able to give a lovely stretch through the neck and the back of the shoulders where we hold tension. Keep the knees bent, and then you're going to roll your spine along the ground and release the head to start. Now, if you find that your neck is like this, I'd ask you to just have like a little towel, bath towel, and put it under so your neck is supported. Once you're comfortable with your neck and shoulders, you bring the knees to the chest and hands onto the kneecaps. So just make sure you're not doing this, you're actually holding here. And the shoulders are nice and relaxed. Starting with the breath, inhale first. Then you exhale, 1, 2, 3. So you might get to 3, you might get to 4, you might get to 6. It'll just depend on your length of breath, but there's no pressure to extend it. Now, as you exhale, it'll be nice to close the eyes, and then you can really feel your lower back, middle back, upper back, back of shoulders and the neck, getting a lovely massage, a beautiful stretch. It feels very soothing for the mind And also, we're working with digestion because it's stimulating all those digestive organs. That's your in-breath. Always a pause for a second or two with no breathing, and then exhale. And then pause again after exhale. Then we're going to finish off with Yoga Nidra, feet to the floor. And we're going to pop something under your knee. So it could just be a pillow, if that's what you've got at home. And stretch it out under the knees like that. Now, you can do this next part sitting if you like, if you've got things that you have to get up and do and you don't have so much time to rest deeply. So the hands are going to come on the belly. Relax the head, relax the elbows. So just stay still for a few moments. Now what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in and just watch what happens to my belly. And in my mind, I'm counting my exhale. 1, 2, 3. Then there's a second pause, and then breathe in again. And you continue that pattern for 8 to 10 breaths if you can. But make sure when you finish, you come back to your normal breathing, okay? So you're just going to rest in Shavasana for as long as you like. But before you come up, make sure that you start to wiggle your toes and flex your feet and rotate and move the hands. Because we've taken our minds into a different state, we need to bring it back to a normal state where we're going to be doing different activities in our life. So with this particular practice, that beautiful long exhale, your mind doesn't have anywhere to go but to listen to the counting. It's a bit like counting sheep. So therefore, that addictive thinking and that negative thinking totally shifts. This is the practice I was saying that you can do if you don't want to get on the ground, you can't get on the ground, maybe you've got an injury or doing rehab post-operative. You can do this standing, so it's exactly the same practice, same function, it's just that you're not uncomfortable on the floor if it's not for you. So we're going to stand. First of all, we always sort of come into wherever you are, into your space, into your mat, so we're leaving behind the action that you've just done, so we can become present in this next action. So you're just standing, feeling the feet on the ground, feeling centered by feeling the balls and heels of the feet, lifting up through the legs, up along the spine, lifting through the crown, top of the head, and the arms are nicely relaxed, shoulders relaxed. And we always start to connect with the breath because we're using the breath to move the body. Okay, so we're going to do the same as what we did on the floor, except we're standing. So from here, we start inhaling. So we're still opening the chest, and the back will start to arch a little bit. And then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way till your hands meet. Now, if you've only got 4 seconds in your exhale, it's going to look like this. It's just going to be a little quicker. We're just not going to put that huge demand on the breath to count more counts than you can. So we'll do that 2 more times. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. And then we just stay and take a short rest. So with each of the sequences, just keep the same amount. So we usually do about 4, but you can do 5, but just do the same quantity for each posture. So the next posture we did on the floor was the twist. So that's what we're going to do as well, except it's going to be a little bit different. You're going to bring the feet together. It's still a twist, but a standing one. So you inhale, we'll take the arms all the way up. We'll look straight ahead, don't look up for this one. You're inhaling. You start exhaling, reach forward. Breathe out, 1, 2. You're going to bend both knees and then take the hands to the hip, looking over the shoulder. Breathe in, come up. Fall forward first for 2 seconds. Then 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. And open. And that beautiful opening is letting go of the negativity, letting go of all the worries and concerns. So we'll do that again. You can move a little bit quicker if you need to, remember. Tuck the chin. And once again, you can do that 3 to 5 times, okay? Now, the last one, we're going to do a forward bend. So on the floor, we had our knees tucked in, but this time we're standing. Very simple, breathe in. Breathe out first. 1, 2. So what we're going to do is slide. Bend the knees, always bend the knees. Tilt from the hips, breathe out to your comfortable level. Now what happens is when you do a longer exhale, the body will follow because the exhalation releases the muscles that are tight, maybe the back of the legs or the back of the lower back here. So it's breathing in. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you might just get to here, that's fine. But in practice, you'll start to lengthen and deepen your forward fold. And then you can roll up, arms out. And then letting go, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's always a little pause after inhale and exhale. And now we're going to sit for pranayama, and we're going to do that long exhalation. But if you are doing something sort of active or you have some responsibilities after your practice, just do it on a chair, okay? So I'm going to get a chair and I'm going to show you how to do that. To do this practice, pranayama practice sitting, it's exactly the same as lying down. You still have the hands on the belly, and the left hand goes to the belly and the right hand on top. So you make sure that your shoulders aren't raised, you're nice and relaxed through the shoulders and lifting up through the crown, top of the head. Because when we're concentrating on breath, we've got to make sure the lungs are free and the spine is long. So if you're in this position, you're not going to get that beautiful quality of breath. So we start like this, closing the eyes, feet on the floor, or you can just sort of look down if you don't like closing your eyes. Come back to a conscious breath. So you come back into your inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Now we breathe a little bit deeper. Inhale. Counting your breath out. Inhaling. And then you continue that same pattern of breath. And if you can work up to 12 breaths would be really good, but you might only have time or the attention to do 6 breaths, which is fine. And when you finish, remember we always sit for a bit and then come back to free breathing. So don't ever do a conscious breathing practice and then just get up, okay? So just make sure you come back to your normal free breath, and you'll notice that the mind is clear, you're more relaxed, back, neck and shoulders, and also you're a little bit more focused throughout your day. So what I would do is do either the lying or the standing practice, or you could maybe do the standing in the morning and the evening do the lying down one for 2 to 3 weeks. So you really get to know it, and you're doing each sequence, remember, 5 times. And once you get to know it, then you're just going to start getting the full benefits of it. But if there's a practice that you need that doesn't address maybe a health issue you've got, or there's just something different that you need for your practice, contact us and we'll be able to tailor a program for you.